Big Mike and Hayes Entertainment here. Today's episode, we got an absolute beauty group. Starting off with Canucks prospect Jackson Kunz, New Jersey Devils prospect Artem Shlaine, NHL prospects Aidan Thompson, Winter Wallace, and Scott Morrow. Here we go, fellas.
If you like what we're doing, you hit the subscribe button. Shout out to the sponsors, the John B. Pub. Head on over there for a good time, good drinks, and great staff.
I'm Jackson Kunz, drafted by the Vancouver Canucks, and I'm on the I Only Touch Greatness podcast.
I'm Artem Shlaine, drafted by the New Jersey Devils in the 2020 NHL draft, and I'm on the Greatness podcast.
I'm Scott Morrow, and I'm on the Only Touch Greatness podcast.
I'm Winter Wallace, and I'm on I Only Touch Greatness podcast.
I'm Aidan Thompson, and I'm on the I Only Touch Greatness podcast.
The number one sports podcast in Vancouver with Ryan Hayes and Big Mike.
Ryan Hayes and Big Mike. I Only Touch Greatness podcast.
Finds Wallace on the right side. Wallace, rink wide pass over to Kunz. Kunz looking for
taking over the podcast scene in Vancouver. Get down or lay down.
Wow, Wallace trying to set it in front. The best block. Back to the point it comes. Foglia down low. There's Kunz with a shot. Save. Back to the goal it comes. Now down low for Shlaine.
I Only Touch Greatness podcast with Ryan Hayes and
Wallace.
Big Mike.
Wallace back to Morrow. Fires a shot.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Good.
Thank you very much for taking your guys' time for us today. We're just waiting on Winter here.
Yeah, he's taking his time. Not the brightest kid.
How's your guys' day today?
It's been good.
Yeah, as you can see, I'm a big Canucks fan, big Canuck collector there, buds.
Awesome.
Raccoons eat.
Yeah, we were pretty pumped to hear your name when we drafted you, and you obviously play in North Dakota and next season.
Yeah, hopefully. We'll see what happens, but
Yeah, exactly. Have you followed the Canucks for a while then, with Besser and Stetcher being here?
yeah, ever since they've been there,
Okay.
been kind of a fan, so it's pretty cool.
Right on. Well, congratulations and thanks for coming to the Canucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
I'll be seeing you there at a few games.
And Artem, same for you, man. Congratulations on getting drafted in the Devils. That's a huge accomplishment. You must be
Thank
pumped.
you. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Okay, well, we'll just get started here.
Yeah.
Oh, wait 1 second. Winter is trying to get in over here. We're all in. We're waiting on you.
Well, it says please wait.
Oh, you have to let him in, I think.
But he hasn't sent me a request yet.
Oh, yeah.
We got
Here he
it.
is.
Fuck, we got it, my bad.
All right. There we go.
Oh, yeah.
Winter and Nate. Guys, appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
Hey, how are you guys?
Good, man. We'll get started here. We're just going to ask you guys a bunch of questions about hockey.
All right, sounds good.
What made you guys get into hockey in the first place? And did you guys play any other sports? Let's start with Artem.
In Russia, we have like kind of a thing that when everyone plays one sport and you kind of pick when you're a kid and just keep doing it and keep getting better at it. So that's what I picked. I picked hockey and just stick with it,
Scott?
Oh, sorry, cut out there. Yeah, I kind of dabbled in everything, but fell in love with hockey pretty early. Kind of stuck with it ever since.
And let's go with Winter and then Aidan.
Yeah, I kind of played a bunch of sports growing up. It came down to mostly hockey and soccer, and I played high school soccer my freshman year, and then I finally chose hockey.
My dad played hockey for a while until he got to college, and that's kind of how I started. And I play like all the guys, probably play golf in the summer, but just hockey is my main sport.
And Jackson?
Yeah, growing up, I kind of played everything. Baseball, football, soccer. And then when I got to high school, I kind of just chose hockey.
Let's go with the same order here. Any nicknames, and why do you guys wear your jersey numbers?
I have one. Guys call me Artie because it's short and it's better than Artem. I guess it's hard to pronounce Artem here in the US. But for number, I've been forced to wear different numbers in the US because I've been 47 in Russia just because there's no numbers left when it was like my turn to pick. So I went to 47. And then I like Datsuk a lot. So kind of 13 was my number and wanted to be 13. But some teams, some coaches didn't let you have 13 because it's like a bad luck number kind of. So we had that at Shattuck my first year. So I had to wear 8. And I kind of liked 8 because I kind of had good luck with it. So I wanted to stick with it. But then me and Winter ended up on the same team. So and he was at Shattuck his whole career at Shattuck. So I let him have it and picked 13, But this year at UConn, I'm going to wear 32 because, again, kind of ran out of choices and had to pick 32. But having a 3 in there is lucky for me, I think.
Scott?
Yeah, I kind of just picked 23 as a kid because my dad told me that I should pick a number in the 20s. And I just thought it looked good on the back of my jersey. So not the best story, but that's how I ended up with it.
A couple of the guys at Shattuck, they either called me Wintz or Guntz. It was kind of there's a long story behind the Guntz one, but most of the guys here just call me Wally, short for Wallace. And I've been 8 since second year Pee-wees. So I've been fortunate enough to stick with it ever since. I got it at Shattuck and I got it here. So, yeah.
People mostly just call me kind of by my last name, sometimes by my first name, but maybe that is a nickname. And then my whole life, I've worn the number 7, and I've tried to stick with that number my whole life. But when I went to prep school, someone had that number, so I was number 27, and so I just kept that number when I came to Lincoln.
Everyone calls me Kunzy, all the way growing up and even now. And then I've kind of just had random numbers throughout. I was 9 in youth hockey. I got to high school and was given 16. Kept that through Shattuck, and then this year I wasn't able to get 16, so now I'm number 29.
Artem, coming over from Russia, obviously to play in the USA, what were the similarities and differences?
It's a different culture and, it's a different language, obviously, and you have to learn it to make friends and then understand your coaches, teachers, and everything. So, yeah, it's been a long journey, and then coming to the U.S., I think it was one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life for hockey opportunity, and I think it paid off for me. And, being here, I kind of like the U.S. a lot. The people are more friendly than in Russia, and, I have a lot of friends here now, and I've been to Russia last time I've been to Russia was 2 years ago. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to visiting my family back in Russia, but I like the U.S. a lot.
You speak pretty good English.
Thanks. And I think for hockey-wise, similarities and differences, I think the ice sheet is the biggest difference. And I like the bigger ice sheet more because you can make plays on the bigger rink. But small ice sheet is a faster game pace, and, that's what they play in the NHL. That's where everyone wants to be.
Hey, Winter, drafted 8th overall to the Lincoln Stars. Take me back to that day.
Yeah, I went through some ups and downs with the whole affiliate stuff the year before with Cedar Rapids. So I ended up going back into the draft, and then I kind of knew I was going to play in the USHL after Shattuck. It was just a matter of where, and I was talking to a couple of teams, and then just waited around for the draft, and I'm pretty glad I ended up in Lincoln. I'm having fun here, so it's been good.
And Jackson drafted 9th overall in the USHL draft to the Green Bay Gamblers. What was the difference? What was the biggest difference from prep hockey? I know it was only a few games.
I don't know. I guess everyone's obviously better, just team-wise and league-wise, and it's faster paced, and obviously got to make plays quicker, and kind of it's a little bit harder to get points, and those are just kind of the small things.
Aidan dropped 27th overall to the Lincoln Stars. Take me back to that day.
I kind of remember we had a game that day, and everyone was kind of waiting around for the draft, and it was kind of cool to finally see like where I'd be going eventually in the future. So that was a cool day, and the Stars was a good organization, so I couldn't be more fortunate to end up here.
Scott, again, drafted 28th overall by the Youngstown Phantoms. Take me back to that day. And what do you think the biggest difference is? I know it was only a couple games, but you're on fire to start the season with Shattuck this year.
Yeah, no, that was a great day. It was good to know that a team wanted me in the USHL 2 years ago or whenever it was, that they recognized I was a good player. And when I went up last year, biggest difference for me was just kind of strength of the players, like in battles and stuff like that, and then just the pace of the game. But no, it was a good experience.
Artem, you absolutely lit it up at Shattuck, putting up 78 points in 46 games. What contributed to you having such a successful season?
I think my first year helped me to get going in my second year, if I can say that, because my first year I was around really good players, and as you see, Brisson, first round draft pick. Then obviously Jackson Lacombe, second round draft pick to Anaheim last year. And then obviously playing with Kunz, we played together in the same line for 2 years. And I think that like build up chemistry helped me a lot in my second year. And kind of going into my second year at Shattuck, I knew I have to step up in those guys' shoes and kind of improve my game and develop. So, I try to do my best, and I think I've done a good job. But obviously, having good players around you makes you a better player as well.
Aidan, putting up 24 points in 25 games, playing for the U18 River Rats. What contributed to you having such a successful season?
Like during split season with the River Rats, we played good teams like Shattuck, but we didn't play them. Well, we played teams that played them, and I had good line mates, and it was on the weekends we would travel. One thing that contributed maybe was like the transition from U16 to U18, I guess, or prep was just a little bit older, a little bit faster, and I think I kind of play like that, so it kind of helped play into my game.
Who do you guys mirror your guys' game after? We'll start with
I think, as I said, my favorite is Pavel Datsyuk, but I think favorite and the player I manage my game after is two different things. I think the player I manage my game after is Nicholas Backstrom. He's a 200 feet center. He's reliable in the D zone and makes plays all over the ice and plays on the penalty kill in the power play. So I think that's who I'm trying to be.
Scott?
The guy I kind of try and emulate the most is probably Cale Makar, the Colorado Avalanche. He's another right shot offensive style D, and he's obviously a stud. So if one day I could end up being as good as him, I wouldn't be too mad about that.
No, definitely not. That's a good choice. Winter and Aidan?
I'd probably go with Blake Wheeler. He's pretty tall, lengthy forward, pretty powerful. Can play both sides of the puck, and he can produce. Yeah, probably go with him.
Jackson? Sorry, Aidan, cut you off.
One player I probably try to resemble is like Jonathan Tay. He's just two-way player, can make plays, but can also score goals. So that's probably who I try to play like.
Pretty good choice as well. He's a winner.
Yeah.
For me, I like to watch Jamie Benn. Just kind of a big, strong forward like myself, and is skilled down low and can put up points, and then also is reliable in the D zone.
Yeah, I've heard some comparisons with you and Besser as well.
Have you?
I have.
That's kind of cool.
Your name was coming up on the radio today. We heard it on the radio. That's pretty good.
Sweet.
You guys got any pregame meals or rituals? We'll start in the same order.
I think I don't stick to the same ritual every game, but I'm super superstitious, and the guys know that. The guys I played with, Shattuck, with. I try to change it game to game. If I play good, I stick with it. If something goes wrong, I change something in it. But I think the pregame meal I developed. Obviously, we had our pregame meals at Shattuck as a whole team. But I think the pregame meal I developed in my last 2 years was going to Subway before games. That's a big thing. A Subway and a Red Bull, yeah. And I think you just kind of stick to it. And sometimes I order the same sandwich, and if I don't play good, I change. I switch from ham to bacon or something like that. And other than that, in the locker room, I try to be quiet and just put my headphones in and listen to music. And don't like when the guys bother me before games. But other than that, it's pretty simple.
For me, I always tape my stick before games. That's kind of the only thing that's really pregame. I don't really have a specific pregame meal that I eat. But the biggest kind of rituals I have are during warm-ups. I do a lot of certain specific things that I'm sure my teammates have picked up on. But that's kind of, I don't have anything really in the locker room or anything like that.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I have a certain pregame meal that I try to stick with. But I have a couple rituals when we're warming up as a team, I like to be at the end of the line. Last year I would try to go on the ice last, but a couple guys had seniority over me. And then kind of same with Artie, like if I'm playing well and I kind of like the role I'm in with, I'll stick with some things, whether it's like how I'm taping my stick or if I'm writing something on my stick. But I like to change things up depending on how I'm playing. And yeah, I would say that.
For me, kind of like Scotty and Winter, I don't really have a pregame meal, but before the games, I guess I always tape my stick. And then maybe like them, kind of if I'm playing good, like in between the period, I'll keep my tape job. But if not, then I'll maybe tape it again. But I'm not too superstitious, so that's it for me.
I'm pretty average when it comes to pregame. But don't really have a meal that I stick with. Kind of just tape my stick, go through a little stretch, and then I don't know. That's kind of all.
Yeah, that's fine. A lot of guys are basic. We have some weird ones. We had one guy puts his leg pads on opposite, his shin pads. So his right on his left on his right. That's a kind of weird one.
I don't know how you guys can tape your sticks so quick. It takes me a whole day to try to tape my stick.
I always put my my right skate on first, but that's pretty common.
Okay. Artem, you've worn the Stars and Stripes jersey at the U18s. What's it like throwing that jersey on and representing your country?
It was a tough decision, representing the U.S. because I was born in Russia, but I kind of like the U.S. a lot. And, it was a great experience over in Europe. It's a great opportunity to play with the best players in the world, and playing against them makes you a better player. And yeah, I'm thankful to the coaches and the guys who gave me that opportunity to compete at national level.
Jackson, again, congratulations on being dropped the Canucks in the 4th round. Taking back to that day. And did you know that the Canucks were interested?
No, I didn't talk to them once. So that was kind of interesting when I heard that they picked me. But the day I was kind of going about my day. I was at practice and just getting undressed, and coach came out and asked where I was and told me Vancouver, and all the boys came up and said congratulations, and then my phone started blowing up, and I don't know, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, we couldn't be happier. So, Artem, congrats on being dropped to the Devils again. Obviously, taking back to that day. And did you know that they were interested?
Thank you. I talked to the Devils couple times even before COVID started, and I was fortunate enough to meet with them in person with one of their scouts, which was really helpful, to put like a face to the name and get to know about the Devils and that they're interested. But there's other teams that I thought were interested more than the Devils. And, every time their pick came, I was kind of sitting there and looking if my name was going to pop up. But then after all, the guys before the draft, the guys told me that some guys at UConn who were drafted a couple of years before, they told me, that the teams that drafted them, they never talked to them at all. So I was kind of expecting any team to draft me, and it's a once like in a lifetime opportunity. So yeah, I was really excited when the Devils selected me.
Winter and Aidan, obviously I figured you guys would have been drafted as well, and was hoping the Canucks would have took you, but there's definitely next year. We know you guys are going to go far in hockey either way. You look at all the players that didn't get drafted and go really far in hockey. So keep your guys' heads up.
Yeah,
Thank you.
All you guys must be super excited to be heading to university next season. Obviously, Winter, you must be looking forward to attending Michigan State.
Yeah, Big Ten is the league I wanted to play in, and I was pretty fortunate when they offered me. It was something I really couldn't pass up, so yeah.
And Scott and Jackson, same goes to you, obviously heading to the University of North Dakota.
Yeah, it's a dream come true.
Yeah, I kind of growing up, it's actually in the same town as where I'm from. So growing up, I'd go to every home game or whatever. So when I got the offer, I just hopped right on it.
Right on. Can't wait to see you lay it up there, both you guys. Aidan, you must be looking forward to obviously attending the University of Denver. That's a pretty crazy university and historic hockey university to be going to as well.
Hey, my cousin goes there. That's awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. I made the decision quite a long time ago, but I couldn't be looking forward to it more, and just a good school and kind of close to home, and I couldn't be more excited to play college hockey in front of my friends and family, kind of where I live. So I'm super excited.
A lot of hot girls at that school.
Hey, Artem, same goes to you. You must be pumped to be attending the University of Connecticut. Originally, you were heading to Boston College, correct? What happened?
I was going to go Boston University, and that was my plan before. And, things didn't work out. And I'm not going to go into detail about that, but I'm really excited to start the season with UConn, and I believe it's going to be soon enough, hopefully in a month or so. Yeah.
You guys got a couple good Russian players on that team as well.
Yeah, we have two actually second-round draft picks, one to Minnesota, one to Calgary, and I'm rooming with one of them. So, yeah, it's really exciting to have one of your friends that you were friends before, even before coming to the U.S. I was friends with Jan. I think he got drafted second round to Calgary, and I'm excited to play with him together.
Yeah, he's definitely going to go far in hockey. Jan Kuznetsov's a great player.
For sure.
Hey, do you guys, this one's for all you. We'll go in the same order again. Do you guys have a favorite road barn?
I think playing at Shattuck, the favorite place to play at is probably St. Andrews College, because we played them a lot, and probably the best ice I've ever played in the U.S. And it's really nice setup and new facility. They're always welcoming, and they have a lot of fans come to the game and support their team. But I think and every time we play them, it's a great opportunity to get noticed by scouts or from all levels of hockey.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with Artem. From my experiences, other than Shattuck, my favorite place to play has been St. Andrews. Last year on a Friday night, we played, and probably over 2,000 people were there. It was packed. They had the band playing, so it was a pretty crazy environment. And we were fortunate enough to beat them a couple of days later to win their tournament. So that was one of my best hockey memories.
Yeah, I would agree with those two. St. Andrews was for sure a trip of a lifetime, and it's kind of just like it kind of reminds me of Shattuck, just a little more modern, less historic. Also, Culver, I remember we went there on a Friday night, and there was at least a couple hundred students in the stands, just kind of booing us and giving us some heat. So that was kind of fun.
The chirping's always good. It gets me going.
Yeah, it was fun.
Maybe one of my favorite away games I played was actually 2 years ago in Lincoln when we played Des Moines. And I just remember it was pretty packed and their fans were kind of rowdy, so that was a really cool game. And it was really close, so that was probably one of my favorite away games, and their rink's always fun to play in.
I'd have to say St. Andrews too. I think that goes for our whole team last year, and I don't know, like everyone said, it was packed. It's a super nice facility, and obviously it's nice when you can beat them there.
What's your guys' go-to celly?
I don't score that much to sell it.
Yeah, right.
I don't know. I think my last year I stick to like kind of the bow and the arrow from the back. Yeah. So
sometimes if I'm in the mood to celly, I'll do the one knee and fist pump, but usually I'll just kind of celebrate with my teammates.
Yeah, I've never been that big of a cellier. Mostly just pointing to Artem after he gives me a backdoor tap in or something. But I don't know, a couple of times I like my first goal last year I dropped down on one knee, but I think that was about it.
Yeah, he had cool skates.
I'm kind of the same way. I usually don't celebrate too hard, but maybe if I get excited, like I'll throw two arms up or something if I'm really in the mood, but usually not too much.
I'm not a big celly guy either. I don't know. I kind of just maybe throw my hands in there and celebrate with my teammates when they come over.
You ever get what? If you ever got a celly in Vancouver, make sure you try to ride the stick. You'll be an instant fan favorite. And my go-to is I always go right in the goalie's face, like you can't see me.
Yeah, Kunz, first NHL goal. Go down on your
yes,
ride your
100%, buddy. The city will love you if you ride the stick like Tiger Williams. Look it up.
I don't know if I can even do that.
It's hard. I did it one time. I scored a one-handed goal where I dropped it to one hand, boom, tucked it in, and then I rode the stick and went like this. But I got in trouble.
What was your guys' favorite music before games? And who's the Shattuck DJ, by the way?
It's whoever runs the clock pretty much is the DJ, but sometimes we had to play without music. That happened a couple of times when we play early games in the mornings and nobody wants to do the clock and do the music. But we always have good music when we have it on night games at Shattuck. And for my personal favorite, I listen to a Russian song before I go on the ice, and probably Kunz listens to it every time because he sits right next to me. And I listen like full on in my headphones, and probably everyone in the locker room can hear it, but the guys like it and nobody said anything about it to me yet.
Jackson, how is it?
I don't understand it, so I can't really tell you.
It just sounds like noise.
Yeah, exactly.
For myself, I just kind of listen to some hip hop stuff before the game. Usually the last song I'll listen to is always Run This Town by Jay-Z. So that's my kind of last one before I go out.
Well, last year we had a pretty consistent music in the locker room. Our boy Sam Dewar ran it. It was there were some ups and downs. It was good though. But with headphones in for warm-ups or such, I listen to everything: country, rock, pop, like house, everything. Yeah.
You guys wear your headphones on the ice? Is that what you meant by
No, off-ice warm-ups.
Oh, okay. I'm at the point where I'm about to put the earbuds in and go out there for beer league warm-up.
For me, I kind of just listen to whatever the team's listening to. Like Winter said, he has headphones in during our like stretch before the game, but I kind of just listen to the speaker. So whatever's on there. If they're playing rap or if they're playing something else, that's kind of what I listen to. I don't really have just music in, but yeah, that's it.
I'm kind of the same way. I don't really use headphones too often. Kind of just listen to what's playing in the locker room.
I got one for you. LeBron, Kobe, or Michael Jordan?
Already go.
I think I'd say Michael Jordan because I watched The Last Dance, and I'm not a huge basketball fan or anything, but a lot of people talk about those three, and it's a huge debate about who's the best. But I don't know. After watching The Last Dance, I'm convinced it's Michael Jordan.
For me, I'm a big LeBron guy, so I'm gonna have to go with him. Got a couple posters of jersey, so he's kind of my guy.
Not too into basketball, but after watching Last Dance, I'd have to go with Michael Jordan for sure.
I would have to say Michael Jordan. I've always been an MJ fan, and I think I don't know if there's much LeBron could do to change my mind about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I'm kind of the same way. The Last Dance was pretty cool. But the Mamba mentality, you can't really beat that. So it's a little half and half there.
Yeah, and what Kobe meant to the city of LA as well.
Yeah.
If a GM or scout were to ask Scott, Winter, or Aidan, what do you guys bring to the table?
For me, I'm just I think I'm a complete two-way defenseman with a unique offensive game. And I think I'm a winning player. I help the team win, and I'll do whatever it takes to secure the W on any given night. So, whatever it takes, I'll do. And I work hard. I'm a smart player. So yeah.
I play in kind of a power forward type game. Use my puck protection, shot, skating to my advantage, and kind of like Scott said, at the end of the day, I'll just do whatever it really takes to get the team to win. Yeah, try to play a heavy game.
I would say that I'm a fast player. I try to play with speed, but I think my best attribute is my IQ and ability to find and make plays. A two-way forward that can play offense, defense, power play, penalty kill, play any time in the game. So I think that's how I would best describe myself.
Artem and Jackson, I know you guys get some weird questions during the draft stuff. Do any stick out to you?
Yeah, over the year, I had many questions that are the same, and you kind of have your answer ready because, the scouts probably don't want to see you stumbling and figuring like what you want to say. So, but, some teams ask those weird questions and you're, for a second, you're kind of thinking about it and what's my answer, But I think the weirdest question I've been asked is by the Detroit Red Wings. It was a question, if we give you $1 million and you can bet on yourself, what round are you going to go? Are you going to get picked in?
Wow.
I had to think for a second about that. Yeah.
What'd you say?
Yeah.
I was quickly thinking in my mind what should I say, and saying, like late rounds is, showing that you're not confident, and then saying that like picking around like second, third, fourth, fifth, and saying the number is kind of, I was thinking about that's not what I want to do. So I just went with, super confident. I just said first.
There you go. You got to show the swag.
Yeah, I was like, no, I'm not going to lose anything with this answer. And, so I just went with it.
Yeah, I guess for me, there weren't too many weird ones, but one that kind of stuck out was from Tampa. He asked if it was a Monday night and it was your teammate's birthday, and everyone agreed to go out and have one beer, but then they decided to stay and kind of celebrate a little more. But you had practice the next morning. They asked if I would stay or go. Like, stay at the bar or go home.
Wow, that's a tough one.
Well, what's that answer? I know I'd be staying at the bar.
Yeah, I don't really know. I kind of said, like, probably stay a little longer and then go home and get the rest I need and be ready for practice tomorrow. But
That's a good answer.
It could be a trick question, like they don't want you to leave your teammates behind, you know?
Yeah,
that's what I was thinking. But
yeah, that's for
I
sure.
feel like a lot of teams ask, like those strict questions, and they're kind of trying to put you in a position where, like, that you think that your answer is right, but it really isn't. So, you try to get out of it as like smooth as possible.
Have any of you other guys heard any weird ones?
Not too weird, but I did get a couple questions about my dad, because they, as weird as this sounds, they didn't want to risk drafting a guy who, my dad's not in my life, and they don't want to, how the who's that player that Bobby, he just went through alcoholism.
Bobby Ryan.
Oh yeah, Bobby Ryan.
Yeah, they I guess nowadays they're really looking into stuff because they don't want backgrounds and to draft you and then you don't even end up playing because you got messed up background or such. And my dad's not in my life, so they did look into that a little. But yeah, you kind of just blow it off and say it's no big deal. But
Yeah, absolutely.
Did somebody tell us
Yeah, I think
about
it was
a burning house if you could save one or two?
Yeah, I think it was Cole Perfetti, actually. Cole Perfetti told us that they asked him, I believe it was the Detroit Red Wings as well, and they asked him if it was a burning house, could you save your mom or would you save your dad if you could save one person? It's like, really?
Yeah.
I don't know what the right answer would be.
Yeah, what'd he say?
I don't think he answered properly. I think he just said to brush off the question because he didn't want to answer it.
Yeah, I think it's the right thing to do.
Yeah. Aidan, how about you? Did you hear any weird ones?
I'm trying to think. It's a lot of. I'm sure that, as the other guys know, it's a lot of repetitive questions, the same things over and over and over. Maybe one thing that was weird. There was like this survey or this questionnaire one team sent me. I can't remember who it was, and one of the questions had like 3 things listed, and it was like rank them in order. And it seemed like 3 like pretty irrelevant things. It was like go on an adventure, like get a new car, or like say hi to a friend or something. And it was like rank these 3 things in importance to you, or something like that. And like it seemed like at the time it just seemed like it was like pretty far away from hockey or like something that you could learn from something. But like I'm sure they have their reasons. I didn't have a problem with it.
It's because the car is a materialistic thing. Your bondship with your friends is a lifetime, and
yeah, and it was like that. But I can't remember the exact wording of the questions. But there was like 10 of those, and they like it was like that.
Hey Scott, have you got any?
No, this upcoming draft is the first one I'm eligible for. So I haven't really gotten too far into the interview process yet. Only talked to a couple teams so far, and nothing really out of the ordinary.
Okay. Artem, Jackson, Winter, Aidan, and Scott, like I can't thank you guys enough for taking your guys' time today for us and coming on our show. We really appreciate it, and we can't wait to cheer you guys on for the rest of your careers. Even if it's the Devils, I still cheer you on.
Hey, you got a Hughes over there. So that's okay. And we're big lovers of Quinn over here.